microphone that's there on the chair. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
I'm not. Hold on. All right. Well, you may have the hardest path in this PFL. What do you think of that? Like, what does that say about you as a person?
I think it says that as a person, I'm just ready to take risks. You know, you have to take risks if you want to grow as a person and as an athlete in particular in this sport. So, like, I mean, it's a win-win for me. Like, you know, I love challenges, and I love taking away what you get from those challenges. So bring it on, basically.
What did you take away from your last challenge?
I learned a hell of a lot about myself, and I took a lot away from being in there and feeling an opponent like Anthony Pettis. Like, he's been like to the heights of the sport, so to get that feel, to be in there with him, and also I know that I have a much more vast skill set than that. Just froze a little bit in certain scenarios because look, 3.5 year layoff, like, long bleeding time, so so they're the two things I took from it: the feel of the opponent and the shake off to bring into this fight.
And what were your first thoughts when you got your next opponent?
Great, looking forward to it.
Do you think you're gonna have another, there will be another fight of the year kind of performance, like that what you're kind of expecting for this fight?
Yeah, I hope it's like really boring. I choke him out in 10 seconds. That'd be great.
Awesome. And who do you see in the finals?
Me,
And?
Anthony Pettis for a rematch.
Oh, I like it. Okay. How do you see that second fight going?
For me, probably overwhelming him with strikes or taking him down and TKO finish ground and pound.
Awesome. Thank you.
What did you think of Jeremy Stevens' first fight with Clay Collard?
I thought it was great. I watched it as like a fan, and I was like, wow, that was like an unreal fight.
Were you surprised that neither of them went down? It was a 3-round just rock and sock 'em?
No, because the two of them have great chins, so I assumed that they were going to be able to take each other's shots and kind of just have a barn burner, which happened. So yeah, it was really entertaining though, wasn't it?
So, first 2 fights in the PFL, 2 former UFC fighters. I mean, do you think that just kind of shows what the PFL thinks of you?
Yeah, they see me as a tough opponent. Like, it's that simple. You know, they know that I'm ready for the challenge. I'm ready to step in there and take the challenge too. You know. I would have preferred it the other way around, really, because I'd like to have built up to Anthony Pettis, but, you know, tomatoes. I got to fizzle out the opponent and focus on me. It's not what they're doing, it's what I'm doing, you know, so I got to take every single opportunity, and I'm really grateful to PFL for the opportunity. They're an amazing promotion, and whatever they give me, I'll take advantage of, you know.
Looking forward, the next 3 events are New York, Wales, London.
No.
Which of those 3 would you like to get on?
So, sorry, New York, Wales, London.
Yes.
New York. Come on. You go there, of course. Yeah, New York.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to London as well, but yeah, New York would be the top, and then you probably. I've fought in London before, so probably London then Wales. Yeah.
What's wrong with Wales?
What's wrong with Wales?
No
It's
love.
Like, it's not wrong with Wales. Everybody from Wales is watching right now. Love you guys. Bringing that up.
And then you have a bunch of cool tattoos. I just
Thank
wanted
you.
to kind of know which one is your favorite, and then what is that tattoo?
This is like a gorilla and a human, so like kind of a morph. You know the way there's the primal kind of thing with the martial arts and the competing as well. I probably like these tattoos. They're my that's my granddad's nickname, Sonny, and that's my nana's nickname, Kitty, and it's a little pet pig because she had loads of pet pigs. So.
Awesome. Thank you.
You mentioned your long layoff led you to be a little gun shy going into that Anthony Pettis fight. You have now the shortest turnaround between any fighter in the PFL season. Do you think that's going to play to your advantage?
Oh, for sure, 100%. Because the layoff, like, you know, it's a nervous system thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? No matter how much I mentally and physically prepared, because I really did, like, I mean, to the best of my ability. When you're in that stressful environment, like, there's only 3 things your nervous system's going to do. It's either going to fight, flight, or freeze. And you can't fly because you're locked in a cage, aren't you? You know, so there's moments where I froze a little bit more than I would have ever really in my previous fights. Like, it reminded me kind of at the start of my career when I was like really just getting into the swing of things. So for me to have a quick turnaround, I felt like I was blessed. I wanted the quick turnaround, to be honest, you know.
Did you change your approach at all in this camp? Did you maybe do more sparring to try and get that feeling back, or?
No, because I did loads of sparring leading up to the last one. So, and it's really important if you have quick turnarounds. Like I was managing a peak. I wasn't building up to a peak. So I couldn't go in there and try and make up for something just because I lost. The being in there in the competition itself helped me get that shake off. So immediately the week after and getting into sparring again, I felt like a different athlete already. I felt like a different martial artist, you know. So I just continued the same format and focused a little bit more on recovery in my harder days of sparring.
Thank you.
I was going to say, Jeremy Stephens is the second highest favorite on this card. Does that maybe fuel your motivation being the underdog coming into this one?
That's the first I've heard. Like, I don't listen to any of that stuff, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, MMA is absolutely mental. Like, there's so many ways to win and there's so many ways to lose. And at the end of the day, like, that's not really useful information for me. Like, it doesn't play into anything. So, no, I don't care about that at all, really.
You mentioned, watching the Collard fight, and obviously, like, that was a great fight. But I don't know if you caught Stevens right after the fight. He actually said that for his next fight, he would promise a knockout victory. I don't know if, like, how much of a threat is his knockout power to you? Did you take that into account in your training camp?
Oh, of course. Well, I wouldn't have taken it into my training camp, really. I take a couple of general things, like the gist of things. I mean, it's not rocket science, like, to look at him and go, right, he likes to stand, he gets a bit emotional, and he likes to bang, you know what I mean? So, I mean, if he wants to put that expectation on himself, then that's fine, but that only plays into my favor, I can use that against him. So if he wants to bring that in, that's fixed, that's not flexible, and I don't compete like that when I'm on form, so.
Yeah. And just a question is, like, what kind of statement are you trying to make when you're, obviously, if you defeat Jeremy Stephens, like, if you had to verbalize it in a sentence, what kind of statement?
What kind of statement? Destruction.
Destruction, okay, I like
that hardcore. Usually I don't say it. Good?
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, guys.